Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Chatter Live podcast. Today on the mic, I have me, George Clement,
Elijah Peterson.
Ruby Sabater.
and we're going to be discussing school start times. We have three different models. My model is 9 to 4.
My motto is 8 to 1.
My motto is 8 to 3.
So I want to get the ball rolling here, and I want to ask Elijah, how would you get rid of 2 hours of school? How would you achieve that?
I think we should take away like our elective classes and only be in school for what we need to graduate. Like, I don't think school should be 7 hours of our day.
So you would have, okay, describe the system. Like,
So it would
what does
be,
it look like?
so first it'll be your 2 classes and then lunch at the end of the day, like normal. Well, not like normal, but like lunch at the end of the day, and then after lunch you got like you're just dismissed and then you could go home.
Elijah, why do you think we should get rid of electives?
I think we should get rid of electives because, in my opinion, electives are a waste of time. Cause I want to come to school and like learn what I need to learn in order to graduate. Like I just want to get it over with and then go home. I don't want to be in school for longer. And in my opinion, like electives, many people say that electives are brain breaks, but electives are not brain breaks because they're structured like a core class. You still have a lot of work for them. You still have to do your own classwork. So like there's not really an opportunity for your brain to like relax. So I just don't think that it's just like unnecessary stress that you're causing on yourself.
You say that electives are a waste of time, but I don't view it as a waste of time. Because in most of my electives, I sit near my friends, and some of the funniest moments that I've had in classes come from electives. Like, for example, in Melton, I sit next to two of my friends, and it's like we're always laughing in that class, we're always giggling. And even though Melton's class is extremely difficult, there's that test at the end of the year. He gives us a bunch of homework. He gives us a bunch of classwork. Like, you still end up enjoying the class because it's more flexible than a regular class because it's an elective. Like, it really gives you time to get friends, develop those social skills, and I feel like it breaks up the monotony of day-to-day school.
So I feel like we should keep electives. I feel like it gives us a brain break. It also gives you and allows you to talk to other people, which will help you in the future to have further communication skills and, make friends and not be antisocial.
If a kid is antisocial, putting him in an elective class where he has to talk to people, I don't think it's like gonna help them. Like they'll do the work, but they're still gonna be antisocial.
It's going to make him antisocial.
It's gonna make him antisocial if he's in an elective. Oh no!
If he's not.
Oh
Like,
Yeah,
if he's just in school working. Like, what do you
exactly.
think?
Like,
Okay.
I feel like
no,
just being in school. No, we're just gonna leave this in. Whatever, it's genuine. Uh, having like having electives, like I said, like it breaks up day-to-day class. Like, if you just go to school, you learn about some numbers. You go to science class, you learn about like cells or whatever. Then you go to history, learn about some dead people. Then you go to English and learn about the same language that you've been speaking for 10 years. And then you go home. Like, that's boring. You don't want to do that from again and again and again and again.
Well, then that's where extracurricular activities outside of school come from, and they usually don't cost money. Like if you want to do something to socialize with people or like just do what you want, like not do what you want, but like if you want like what you want to do, you could do it outside of school, and it's usually free. Extracurricular activities are usually free.
Some parents can't drive their
Exactly.
kids from school to another extracurricular place,
They-
like
they
they
could-
work,
they could-
and
They could take the bus.
they're gonna
the
take
free
a bus from school to the
Yeah, what are the
extracurricular
chances that there's a bus
curricular
route?
place.
What's the chance that there's a bus route at the exact time that school, like,
Exactly.
just look, like, speaking from the point of that Ruby saying, like, opportunity, removing electives would remove opportunity from a lot of students. What are the chances that, you are able, like, for this class, the class that we're in right now, business class, what are the chances that you would have taken a business class, or you would have paid to take a business class, if it wouldn't have just been offered for free right here in the school? You wouldn't have even found interest in business. You wouldn't have cared to take a business class because it would have costed you money. It would have cost your parents money. They would, like how Ruby said, they would have had to drive. It's like, just talking in terms of like that, like giving students opportunity, removing electives would remove opportunity.
It also could look good on your resume. Like if you're taking web design, you pass, and then they see that they're like, oh damn, like they're smart. They took a whole class, they passed the test, and then they'll think that you're actually smart, and then, you actually have other things going for yourself, not just passing school and
George, why do you think 9 to 4 was a better time for students?
Well, I feel like if you talk to a lot of people nowadays, it's a lot of students in particular. It's very hard for them to wake up, for them and then for them to be out of the door by the time that they need to, getting the proper amount of sleep, right? And thinking, there's a pretty obvious way to fix that, and it's just push school back 2 hours. If students are waking up tired, if it's causing um, absences, tardies, they're getting bad grades in classes because they can't focus. It kind of ties into the whole elective thing. It's like you can't like it would be like giving students an opportunity, like the students that need to sleep more, the students that maybe they come home late from a job, maybe this that you would give them more flexibility, more time to sleep, and sure they would go home later, but I feel like people would get used to that. I feel like the benefit would be there if that system was in place.
Well, wouldn't pushing school back 2 hours make them go to bed later?
Yeah, but
Yeah, 'cause think about it. Two
Yeah.
hours later, it's like if you're going to bed at 10 when you go to bed on an earlier day, that's going to bed at like 12.
yeah,
Which
yeah.
is just going to push their body to go to bed later. And, they're going to get used to that sleep schedule. And then when they're actually, like, working, it's going to be harder for them.
Well, the main thing that I like about my system is that it kind of reflects more of like most people's jobs. Like most people now have a 9 to 5. I don't know what the statistics are, but making it 9 to 4 would like what you said. It would reflect more on like the real world. You get me? It would prepare students on that real mindset. Because you don't start your job at 7:20. You start your job at 9. That's why it's called a 9 to 5. So yeah, it would prepare students more for real life, as well as I feel like more students would sleep more. They would see the time given to them, and they wouldn't just be like, "Oh, I can go to sleep 2 hours later because my school starts 2 hours later." No, I feel like most students will be like, "Okay, let me get my sleep. I don't want to wake up tired. I have a test tomorrow." You get me? I feel like we're not only preparing students for the future, but we're giving them an opportunity.
Do you think students really think like that, though? Like, they're not going to be like, oh, yeah, let me just go to sleep and be prepared for school. No kid thinks like that.
Well, I don't know about you, but I mean, I love my sleep. Like
Most teenagers don't think like you.
yeah, okay, I understand that, but it's like teens go to sleep later because their melatonin starts getting produced later, which then flips when they get older, which is, if you think about it, it's kind of like cruel that we do like the opposite of the melatonin cycles in teenagers. We make them start early when they're young, and go later when they're adults, and it's like I feel like it's too complicated. There's too many switches. There's gonna like just make everything standard, make everything baseline, just make it 9 to 4. I feel like teenagers will appreciate the extra. Maybe it won't be 2 hours. Maybe they won't be like, oh, yippee, 2 hours, let's go. Like maybe they'll just be like, oh, 30 minutes more. I feel like 30 minutes more is worth it. I feel like 30 minutes. It's been proven in schools that have been pushed back an hour from 8 to 3. That students they get higher attention span. They get better ability to focus. They get better grades. So it's like, imagine if we could get another hour on top of that. If your argument was true that teenagers would just go to sleep later, they wouldn't have seen a benefit. If anything, they would have seen it be worse. So if getting pushed back an hour from 7 to 8, they did see benefits in schools that had that. They got better test results, they got better attendance. So it would be the same effect if we pushed it back another hour. You get what I mean? There would be no reason why the effect wouldn't be there. There's no reason why students would just all of a sudden become lazy or not see an increase.
I feel like if we push it back 2 hours, and students will get not too comfortable, but like students, like at the same time, I just don't think that students are just gonna be able to go to sleep on a time that they want if we end school at 4, because again, what we're saying, we have there's kids that have sports, extracurricular activities, there's kids that have work, and like there's just a lot of stuff, and then when they get home from all of that, they have to do homework, they have to take a shower, and they get to do whatever they want. Like, you have to do whatever you want, or else you'll be like depressed, because you're not gonna be doing anything you like. I think pushing it back from 9 to 4 like causes more stress on students than it does like good.
I feel I get your point. I mean, the depression is kind of a hard thing to say. You know, just because you push it back 2 hours, students are gonna be depressed. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't think it would work like that. But yeah, it would be kind of like a shock getting it pushed back 2 hours. But we've already seen the benefits with 1 hour, and schools shouldn't start at 7:20 anymore. I feel like we can all agree on that. Schools shouldn't start at 7:20.
Yeah, I could agree on that.
They should start at 8 at minimum. But what I would like to see is more of like an experiment. I would like to see a school take up the system from 9 to 4, and see how their students respond. You get what I mean?
Mm.
It's not that, you know, I think that every single um school across the nation should take up 9 to 4, because it would be a big shock. It would be a big change. Some students wouldn't like it, but in select schools, I would really want to see if there's the same benefit as there was from 7 to 8, from 8 to 9. And if there is, once we can get that data, I feel like, and if that data does come in my favor, there should be no reason to have it, for it to not be 9 to 4. We don't, we're, on my model, it's pure speculation, you know? We like,
So you're not debating to like cause a change throughout. You just want to like test it
yeah,
out.
I would more want to see it as like because I don't even think that people are thinking about 9 to 4.
No.
Nobody's thinking about that. They're all too busy trying to fight from 8 to 3, changing schools from 7:20 to 8. But it's like, if 9 would provide the same benefit as 7 to 8 would be, I mean, like, wouldn't it be like a worthy risk? Wouldn't, if it made students perform slightly better, if it made students go to sleep more, if it made students be happier, wouldn't it be worth it to push it back 2 hours?
In my opinion, like what I said earlier, no, because at the same time, students will still be getting the same exact sleep that they do if it was pushed back an hour. Like if it was pushed, like if they have school at 7.
Everything that we could say on 9 to 4 is speculation. You know, we have different points of views, and until there is a school that goes from 9 to 4, we're not going to be able to have any evidence. You know, there's a bunch of schools that went from 8 to 3 that there is evidence, and that's why we can easily fight for 8 to 3. That's why 8 to 3 is like, you know, we can all agree on it because there's proof. Students show up to school more. There's so much more effects more than just school, you know.
I mean, I personally went from 7:20 to 8 o'clock, and I definitely noticed a difference. I feel like, yeah, I don't really get that much more sleep. I still wake up tired. There's not really that much a difference. That's why I'm saying I don't see a difference in moving it to 9. I feel like it's just kind of extra. Like, not to say that your point is extra, but I just think the time is extra. I feel like personally getting out at 3 is perfect timing. It's not too early. It's not late. You still have time for self-care. And I know before you were saying that, oh, it's going to make them depressed. I don't think necessarily they'll get depressed. I just think people need self-care and just time for themselves to, like, dedicate time to themselves. Everybody, needs that. And I feel like if you're getting out at 3, not only are you still giving yourself enough time to do that, you're also providing enough time to, do sports and everything else you need to do.
There's a bunch of benefits from moving from 8 to 3. You know, there's more attendance among students, there's less tardies, and there's even more things that we wouldn't think of directly. Like, for example, there was less vehicular accidents around the school because students were less tired and less drowsy, and, they were driving safe. Like, I feel like students should not, like, there's no reason why it should be from 7:20 to 2:20. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, and all those benefits like just show that starting at 8 is a perfect time. So, I mean, I'm not trying to like diss you or anything, but I'm just saying like 9 to 4 is like crazy.
Yeah, like I'm saying though, I really want to see 9 to 4 as like an experiment.
Mm.
I really want to see 9 to 4 as like a school doing it. Kind of like how we're doing 8 to 3, a school with a very small population being like, oh, okay, we'll take up on it. I would want to see the benefits, the end of the year scores. I'd like to see all of that. That's just like I'm curious about that, and I feel like if it does provide students the benefit, then there's no reason why it shouldn't be 9 to 4. The same reason why there's no reason why it should be 8 to 3.
I agree. I feel like we should test it out. I feel like we shouldn't make it like, an actual thing, but I actually do want to see how kids react to that because I feel like it wouldn't be good. This is Chatter Live Podcast. Stay tuned for next episode where we'll talk about time spent on homework.